Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So you already know what it is. Love During Lockup. This is, let me see, I got my notes on my iPad today. This is season 3, episode 63, Catch and Release. Before we get started though, let me just say, please excuse my appearance. We got a little snow last night. If you didn't know, now you do. Your girl hates snow. I hate snow. I hate snow. I hate snow. I hate snow. So we were just out there clearing it up a little bit, getting out the way so that when the temperature drops again tonight, it doesn't just turn into a sheet of ice. So please excuse my appearance. Lord help me. But anyway, episode begins with Haley and Dalton. As she said last week, she goes to meet up with Dalton's dad. Why? I just don't know why she feels the need to get involved in between their non-existent relationship. But here we are. And it's just really weird. It's like she's trying to be a therapist, and I don't understand because last time I checked, she was a cleaning technician and not a therapist. But nothing about this show really surprises me at this point, so go figure again. She tells his dad that he's planning on paroling to her house, and he's kind of like, yeah, okay. He basically thinks that obviously that he should be paroling to and being with his family, not paroling to her house, but she's living in La La Land, so we'll see how that whole thing pans out. His dad also says she fits his type, young, impressionable, pretty, and emphasis on impressionable. She's very delusional in my opinion. And that scares me because she has a son and she is going to have him potentially mixed up in her bullshit. Because I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we'll get more into that with her later. Moving on. Indy and Harry. I'm mad I said delusional as it pertains to Haley because Indy is all of that and more. Right off the bat, she's on FaceTime with Harry. She got her daughter next to her. And this little girl, do you know I almost fell right on the floor because this little girl is literally calling this man daddy. Not Harry, not Mr. Harry, not mommy's friend, like daddy. And Andy goes to say that they have a great relationship, and she at first was kind of just calling him Harry or whatever, and now that's Poppy Daddy or something along those lines. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, So of course she starts asking him, oh yeah, excited that I'm coming to Ohio soon? And this week he actually did say he's excited. We know last time it was like kind of like awkward crickets. He didn't really give a straight answer, but he did say this time that he is excited for her to come or whatever. Yeah, okay. And she goes on to tell him that she thinks it's a good time for her to start meeting his family, or she wants to contact them, and in preparation for his release, of course. And he immediately puts that shield back up, and red flag, red flag, red flag, in my opinion, because he says his family is like different, or like talks about how that probably won't be a good idea. And I'm just like, what are you not saying right now? What are you not saying? And I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. I feel as though it's not a good idea to him because he knows that his family's going to A, not like her because she's A, black, or B, because she got kids. Like something is going on there, and there's something that we're not being told. But whatever. Moving on. Ty and Hottie. She's meeting up with her friends to blow off some steam, I guess, after the workday and after a long day of her phone getting blown up constantly by Boston. She's still pressed over those phone calls, of course, and Boston continues to call right there in the scene. And Boston's starting to say now how she wants to meet up and talk woman to woman. And I'm just like, okay. And they're both talking rah-rah shit on either side of the phone. And we'll see if that actually happens. I think it does, but we'll see. Her friends, luckily they are not stupid, and they're having a little kiki and sitting down chatting, and just thank God they're not stupid. Thank God they're not stupid. And they basically tell her they're not convinced that he is not still messing with this girl, or that he's even who he says he is. They see through the BS. Thank God, because she's definitely Space Cadet number 1. I have in my notes that she said something along the lines of they have an intimate connection, and that's like the strongest connection she feels is through the phone and letters, which I'm just like, seek help, because there's more going on with her, and I really think she needs to go talk about her feelings with someone, because that's not it. So one of her friends goes on to say that they want to hook her up, which, thank God. I feel bad for whoever this person's going to be, but in her case, I think this is exactly what she needs. Let's just deflect, or let's just get her mind off of this. Let's kind of just put her attention over here, and maybe she'll start to go down, just guide her down the right path, you know? Maybe we'll do that. We'll kind of distract her, you know? And her friend speaks about wanting to hook her up with someone she knows called Angel. His name is Angel. She shows him a picture. I don't remember seeing, we do see him later on in the episode. Spoiler. But right then and there, I don't remember. She showed Indy. She showed Ty a picture of him, but I don't remember if we got to see it. I was probably writing anyway. I didn't see it, but she showed her a picture of him, and she approves or whatever. And she also says that she never even dated a guy in the past 4 years in the free world. And I'm just like, girl, like you just wasting your life, in my opinion. That's what she's doing. Santiba and Tulsi, we met them initially last week, and we get a little bit more of her story this week. She is currently on her way to go do a photo shoot so that she can send those photos to Tulsi, because he makes her feel beautiful. We're just gonna leave that right there. Of course, she's starting to take the pictures, everything, you know, she looks okay, everything's fine, whatever, ordinary. All the way up until he calls her and lets her know that he'll be at the halfway house in 3 to 4 weeks. And it's kind of like, okay, wow, that's, you know, soon, cool, great, though, at the same time. But he also goes on to tell her basically that he doesn't want her to pick her up. And I think she's like in Maine or something, and he's going to be getting out and going to the halfway house, and I think it was either Georgia or Florida. So again, red flag, if you ask me. Like, I don't know, honey, but whenever they don't want them to pick them up, it always just makes me feel like somebody else is in the picture, or this was just cool for the time being type thing. Because you're not gonna sit here and tell me like, nah, like I was good enough to send you money, I was good enough to do this, I was good enough to talk to you, and we had all this going on while you was in the pen, but now that you're getting out, you don't immediately want to come see me. That would just be my logic, but what do I know? Of course she's still gonna go. And later on, we actually see her continuing to like email him from the hot tub, and I was just like, but okay. Gabby and Chris. And I make that face because it just, oh my gosh. Like, we really come from like the same place, and it's just like, girl, you're making like, it's disgracing us. What is you doing? But she's still mad that she wasn't able to get this dress. Like, girl, get over it. Oh well, grow up. I don't care. But at the same time, she's still out shopping. So it's like, you couldn't get something, but then you continue to spend more money. You couldn't get something because you don't have the money, and then you go out to continue to spend money that you don't have. Make it make sense. You're dumb. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. So, whatever. She also starts to speak about how she doesn't have the best relationship, or a non-existent really relationship, with Chris's mom. So she decides to call her to update her on Chris's situation, because as we know from previously, that he is in solitary and all that. So I guess his mom don't know. I guess she's the only one that knows. And she gets some encouragement from her friend, of course, and she calls her while they still out shopping, and says to his mom that he's going to be getting out in 3 weeks, and she says he's also going to get paroled to her house. Or actually, I take it back. Rewind. His mom says that he's going to be getting out in 3 weeks, apparently, and he is going to be getting paroled to her house, family house, whatever. And of course, Gabby immediately starts power tripping, and like, I was waiting. It's just like watching a bomb just go off. Like, you know what's about to happen with her. She's and I was hoping I was gonna like her, because I'm like, yes, we from the same place. Yes. No, tragic. And his mom kind of says, like, she's like, no, he's supposed to be getting paroled to my house, and what do you mean, and da all this stuff. His mom is like, no, I think he needs to be here, and he's gonna be here, and she's all like, well, Chris would want me there. He's not gonna live there if I'm not living there. Like, his mom is like, okay, but he only gets one mom. And of course she's like, okay, but he only gets one wife. Like, she really aggravates me, y'all. Like, I don't like entitled people. So whenever she comes across my screen, I immediately like just roll the out of my eyes. I'm not even gonna hold you. I really do. But she gets off the phone with his mom and calls her a bitch and continues to blow a bag. So, and that his mom is going to see that, and he's going to see that in when this is airing right now. So I'm just like, and backtracking, because I see the episode is actually still playing on my TV. We did see a picture of Angel on the phone before. We did see him. He was good looking on the phone. So, okay. Anyway, Max and Tara. Max is not even staying in his own house. He's staying with his friend, because apparently Alyssa, whatever her name is, he feels as though she's being too clingy and doesn't understand why she's acting like that, because she's supposed to already know what it is, according to him. So while he's still having an attitude and avoiding Alessa because she's too possessive, he's also simultaneously still captivated by the mystery that is Tara. So while he's over there trying to figure out and make sense of the situation with his friend, they get the bright idea to call the prison and try to figure out where she is, what's going on, because he just don't understand how they could be talking all the time and all of a sudden she just goes ghost. So he calls the prison, and guess what they say, y'all? They say that Tara was released a month ago, unbeknownst to him. And I'm just like, red flag, red flag, red flag. Clearly, and I'm glad he put it 2 and 2 together, because I'm glad you said it before I had to. She does not care. And yes, apparently it must have been so easy for her to drop you. So stop asking the obvious questions that you already know the answer to. Could have saw that coming. I don't know what's going to come of their story. I don't know if to actually get to find out who, if she's a real person or whatever. But it's probably best. He should probably be thanking the good Lord above, because clearly he didn't need that in his life. So be happy, be grateful. Back to Ty and Hottie. Oh, and I also noticed that they're pulling a Lacey when it comes to her. They keep flipping back and forth between Hottie's picture and the BB guy's picture. I peeped that. I don't know if anybody else did. This is probably the most cringy part of the episode to me. So she goes on this date with Angel, and I already knew it was gonna be some mess. Before she gets out the car, she takes a picture and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna send that to BB." Like, Meanwhile, Angel's inside. Like I said before, he's a handsome guy. He has nice eyes. Like, he's well spoken. I think that they could be good for each other, but of course she's still like, whatever. She thinks he's good looking too, but of course we know where her head's at the end of the day. Everything is kind of going like okay for the most part. They're doing, you know, some little icebreaker, small talk, and kind of trying to attempt to get to know each other before her phone rings. Or actually, her phone, I don't remember if her phone rang or she just immediately went to go get the phone to quote unquote check on her kids. She lies and tells him that, and she proceeds to also lie throughout the entire date, y'all. So I don't really think that this was just a waste of time. This man just wasted, she just wasted this man's entire evening and probably money. The food did look good. When it does come out, the food did look good. I will say that. So she's pulling out her phone, and she pulls out 3 phones, and he's all like, he peeps that. We peep that. Everybody peeps that. Like, how suspect does that look? You pulling out 3 phones on a date, and they're going off, and phone goes off again. It's Boston. Go figure. So she leaves the table, and she goes outside to curse her out, and again have the same conversation that they keep having, this little 5-second conversation they keep having, going back and forth, talking about Boston wants to meet up and let her know, and they talk woman to woman and all that, and she's all like, but we know they're gonna meet, so I don't know why we keep doing this, like, and why she keeps answering. Say you'll meet her, or don't. Say you will, or say you won't, or say you will and don't show up. I don't care, but the whole continuously blowing my phone up, like, for what? So she hangs up, goes back inside, tells him that there is an emergency at the funeral home, like, because that's believable. And he sees right through that. He sees right through that, because he's clearly not stupid like she is. So thank God, because two stupid people just do not need to be in a relationship together. Oh my goodness. Like I said, food looked good. And then from there on out, once she does divert all of her attention to him, I don't know, she just started getting all like clingy and just doing entirely too much, if you ask me. And I'm not saying women cannot be the party that, what is the word I'm looking for right now? It's slipping my mind, y'all. I'm not saying she can't be the pursuer or the aggressor as a woman. I'm not saying that at all. You see it, you like it, you want it, you go get it, honey. I'm not gonna ever stop anybody's shine. But the way she was doing it, she was just laying it on entirely too thick. They had not built up that level of comfortability with one another. And it was just really weird, really, really weird. But they end the date, they go outside, they kiss. Still was just like cringy. And maybe it's just because I know mentally she was still stuck on those other 2 dudes and everyone else that she has up on her board at home. But it was just like, But that was pretty much it. She says that she's still going to stick to her prison dudes, which we already know. back to Haley and Dalton. So this episode, she actually did buy the house that she was talking about last week. And it's cute. It's a trailer. It's nice on the inside. Like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And her mom is proud of her, which is good. I would be proud of my child too. They just bought their first home. They go inside. She shows her around. Everything's cool. They come back outside. We also find out that she lives with her dad currently. And boom, right then and there, her mom don't waste no time asking her questions, which right on, you know, I'm all about these individuals getting checked by people around them, because clearly their heads are not on straight at all. Her mom, of course, like most parents on here, make valid points. She's asking her basically, like, is his name on the deed? Like, what is going on with the paperwork of all this? Because I hope it's not, because if he gets out and his name is on stuff, he could potentially take this from you. And Haley's like, what do you know? What do you leave? And thank God I don't believe his name is, but still, her mentality going into all this, again, is so bad, especially because she has a child. Like, that really scares me. That really scares me. And we see Dalton call as she's showing her mom the house. He says all the right things once she tells him that she is showing her mom the house. And he gets off the phone pretty quick. Nothing really too crazy came up in that conversation. It was like 2 seconds. And we also continue to go about this questioning from her mom. He has a plan to, like, or is saying all the right things, as far as saying that he's going to be helping her and whatever, and he can't wait to make the house a home with her and all this good stuff, the right stuff to say. But does he really have a plan and the capability to do this? Like, can we really answer the obvious question here? And thank God she knows that it'll take time and he won't be contributing right off the bat. But still, why would you, take on... You can't really... I feel like you cannot really get into situations like this, because you don't really have... As a single parent, like, I feel like you don't have time to lose anything. So I don't really think you have the means to be helping anybody get on their feet, or you can't really be patient with somebody. You need somebody that is going to actively be able to hit you. Oh my God, didn't mean to say that. Hit the ground running and begin assisting you. And he does not have those capabilities, in my opinion. I know his family has money. And that was another thing too. Her mom was like, is this even going to be good enough for him? Because basically he comes from the other side of the tracks, and he must come from a really nice house and not a trailer. So is this even going to be good enough for him? I think it's nice. I think it'll be great for her and her son, but is that going to be up to his standards? Probably not. But she'll figure it out the hard way. And the episode ends with back to Gabby and Chris, or shall I say Gabby. She is in her feelings. She's at her apartment, which I know exactly where she lives. Crazy. And she basically says that she has not been able to see him for 9 months because of you know what is going around right now and prohibiting us from living life how we want to because of that. And she also says, going back to the whole him getting out and his mom and that whole thing, she says that she is going to be there when he gets out, and she don't care what his mom says. She's going to be there. And she's also said she is selfish, as these are her words, y'all. She says she's selfish, so therefore she's going to run up to him right when he gets out, run past his mom because she's old and she could outrun her. Basically, in so many words, she said that. And she's going to hug him for like however many 5 minutes straight, whatever. And then his mom can have him after that. Granted, I don't know what transpired before they came across our television screens, but that just wouldn't work for me. No one can ever treat Sharice like that. Anybody that I'm with, regardless. I don't care what the situation is. And I say that because my mom's not the type of person to just go and just start disrespecting people unless she has a reason to, unless you disrespected her first. So, no. She could kick rocks with that. His mom also calls and says that Kurt said not to come until he calls her and lets her know. And of course, she's like not trying to have that. She's assuming that the mom is lying, and she just takes it upon herself to do a three-way call with the prison. And her mom's like, they're not gonna tell you anything. I mean, you're not his like next of kin, duh. But they do tell her a little bit, but nothing really. And she also wants to figure out, because he said that he would not have to OFED time, that he would just be released from the state. But apparently his mom is saying that he might have to. There's a lot of different things going around here. There's too many stories, and since Chris is in solitary, no one could really figure out and find out exactly what is going on. But instead of Gabby just being a part of that mindset, she's fixated on trying to prove that his mom is lying every left and right chance she gets. And I'm just like not here for it. And like I said, they just don't really give her any information really. So once she gets off the phone, she starts crying, and I'm just like, no, you big Billy Bad. Any other time, talking about how he needs to be here, and I just ain't done that. And she goes in the bathroom and starts crying. And I'm just like, I do not trust her. She would not be able to be around my mom. I wouldn't even, Like, way to, like, make yourself just look so unattractive. So unattractive. She's in my opinion, she's the type that will literally try to fight his mother. And she's just crazy like that, I believe. So, And quite befittingly enough, she's just going over these different scenarios in her head. She starts getting paranoid, thinking like, okay, you don't want me there because somebody else is going to be picking him up. She thinks something shady is going on. I don't know, y'all. I do not know, but she clearly needs some hobbies. Does she have a job? I don't know. What does it say on the little, when their faces pop up? Does it say she has a job? What does she do? I need to roll it back and see what she does, because she needs to ask for some overtime because she has too much time on her hands. Anywho, next week looks really good. I'm excited to see that, as I am pretty much every week, honestly. But let me know what you think of my review. Thank you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Peace.